Interesting thought. Uncle Rick, appreciate you being here. Mo Better, appreciate you. Anyone of y'all want to chime in on the your thoughts on the Diddy scenario?
Oh, he did that shit.
Simple as that. Simple as that.
It didn't take a day. They saying 24 hours. It didn't take a day. It wasn't the next day. Bruh, like their money talk. See, this what remember we talked about this HD, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a victim and take the money, bro. You're not a victim. You're not a victim.
You're a customer. Like, so here's the thing that I will say about that. So I'm a little late to the party, so I didn't necessarily hear everybody's take. But one thing that I will say is at the end of the day, I mean, we're being the moral police. She wasn't looking for him to be arrested. She wasn't looking for him to be charged with anything criminally. She was looking to get her second bite of the apple of this money. She got what she was looking for. So for us to come and say, well, what she should have done, that wasn't what she was looking for. She got out of it what she was looking for.
Right. It wasn't a criminal prosecution. Right. It was a civil case.
Yeah.
What's the statutory? What's the time on rape? What's the statutory on rape? None, because they were trying to get Bill Cosby for it, right? So it ain't no.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true. So, but with that being said, I mean, she got what she wanted. She's gonna go back doing what she was doing, and be a little bit more comfortable while doing so. So, I mean, we can be the moral police as much as we want to, but I mean, when you're a willing participant, you don't get a second bite of the apple and take away consent retroactively.
Nothing's moral about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get what people don't get. Like, okay, so look, I'm from Chicago. Everybody in Chicago knew R. Kelly liked little girls. Everybody. Anybody around our age bracket. Anybody around our age bracket, right? It's no different. It's no different, right? Like, it's just crazy to me, man. The only reason R. Kelly got in trouble is because his money ran out.
100%. I was going to say that he ran out of money.
That's the only reason. Everybody knew everybody was on the take. Like I said, you can't be a victim and get paid. You're not no victim. You're a customer.
What if he was prosecuted?
He wouldn't have been by himself. I'll show you that.
You're right, but I'm saying, would it then be where she would? What if she still got the money and he got prosecuted? Because one take was somebody, I can't remember who said a report on it, that there is still some parts of investigation to be had from the criminal perspective.
It wouldn't be brought up by her. So again, she in the same boat with me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. You can't be in a situation, right? And this supposedly happening to you, and you continue to reap the benefits. Let's keep it a being, right? She's reaping the benefits of being with this man. It's Diddy, right? It's the same. This is the same way I feel about the Bill Cosby stuff and the R. Kelly stuff. When y'all was with it till y'all wasn't. Right? Because if somebody if somebody came in and broke in my house, I ain't waiting till 2 years to go to the police station. No, I'm calling the cops tonight.
The finesse is only a finesse until you don't get what you wanted out of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they try to me too is when it happened, you report it, and then somebody pays somebody some payola to put it on the back burner. And that's when it's some Me Too stuff. Not if you didn't waited 10 years after the fact and you done been in the red carpet in Milan and Paris and the Louvre and all this. And now that your money dry, you want to. And I'm not saying it's right. Like I told y'all before, I think Diddy had Biggie killed. He the only one who really benefited off of Biggie. You think Biggie died, then Puffy became the biggest star on Bad Boy before Mace got there. No rapping ass. Right? He's the only one who benefited. If you look at the Biggie death, the only person who really benefited was Puffy. Junior Mafia didn't. Lil' Kim didn't. Everybody that he had that was supposed to go with him under his roster had to go up under Diddy. They was about to leave. His contract was up. Right? Kim Porter, what happened to her? She just mysteriously died. Right? But nobody don't say nothing, but the people who tell y'all about this stuff, the Jaguar rights, right? The Kanye West, right? Y'all want to call them cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Whatever.
Was the Jaguar? Was that the lady you talking about? Jaguar?
Yeah, the Jaguar.
Yeah, I listened to that. I remember listening to her, and they was like, "Nah, she tripping, she bugging. You can't listen to things that she say." Yeah, I remember that. I mean, before this, I always thought that Diddy was a horrible dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like this didn't change my view. You know what I'm saying? It just allowed me.
Why you think they so successful? Like, I don't care what nobody say, right? Once you get to
when they had that type of stardom, it's something.
When you get to a certain echelon, man, it's them. Y'all done heard the stories. It's them rooms that some people don't go into.
That's been all through my threads for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Several people were talking about the door that you don't supposed to go to. If you go through it, then it's a totally different situation. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the party, Dwayne.
Yo.
Hey, you know anything about this? I know your eyes don't be around this type of stuff. You know anything about this Diddy situation?
No, not too much. Human trafficking? Is that something like that?
You know something.
Sex trafficking, human trafficking, something
Allegedly.
like that? Allegedly. Oh, my bad.
It ain't no alleged no more. That NDA strong than a motherfucker, boy.
Woo!
That NDA strong than a motherfucker. You ain't gonna hear shit outside of Cassie, boy. Nothing. Mouse parts, bro. You ain't gonna hear nothing else out that woman, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Like black, and I say black people because I'm melanated, right? But that, like, it's crazy, right? How people make the excuses for it, like the Sandra Bland and the you know what I'm saying? The big George Floyd. Y'all cry, y'all for his family. Oh, it's such injustice to that check come out.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on it. Didn't want to spend too much time on it. I know people have their perspectives. But at the same time, he is, had been looked at as a pristine individual. And for whatever reason, celebrities have individuals' eyes and ears, right? But I want to transition as we get to talking about being a man, Ash, you may not be able, you can chime in because I
don't qualify for that conversation.
Yes, but you do from the perspective of what you see in guys. Because the first question is, what are the priorities of a man? What are the priorities of a man? Seeing as though we look at Diddy, he was with Cassie, I think 10 years from what I've heard, and then he was with the other young lady. And then, of course, he was the other lady, Steve Harvey's daughter. He's been around with her. I mean, he has sons. And so he considers himself a high-level dude, himself. But we talk about other perspectives of being a man. So we're going to talk about it. What are the priorities of a man? And we'll start with Dwayne.
First, it's I'd say it's God then family. Those are the priorities of a man. God, family, then I'll say country, or community, then country.
Who you got going next?
Short and simple. Ricky, come on with it.
What was the question? My bad.
No worries. Just scrolling. What are the priorities of a man?
Oh, man. How you put a job description on that, bro? Like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, to make the world better. Being honest about it. Make the world better than what it was when you came on it. Leave it better than than it was before you got here. For real, for your kids, for your family, for the world at large. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dwayne. That's facts. You got to follow God first before you follow anything, right? But my priorities is like, I mean, the truth is my life's about sacrifice. right? It's about sacrificing, man. Sacrificing, like I said, so I can leave a better place for my family when I'm gone. I think that's my biggest priority. What you got, Mo Better?
So check this out, man. I kind of co-sign everything that y'all said. Obviously, and then there's some, kind of the standard stuff, to provide, protect, and then also leave the world better than you found it. But as this group of collection is melanated, I think we need to take it a step further. And one of my priorities is to make sure that the next generation doesn't start from zero, because that's something that happens a lot in our community. I want to leave something, or I want to leave, even if it's just knowledge, to where the next generation isn't starting from zero. And I think that's a big problem in our community. So that's something that I'm looking forward to making is a priority for me and mine that come after me.
So who you got going next, Mobella?
I want to hear Ash.
I have nothing. To me, I just, from what I see is a lot of guys now, it's themselves first. Like, you really don't see them too much with family. It's like more, I'm just speaking from what I see while driving the bus, because that's everyday life, day in, day out for 8 hours. You see more guys are not really catering to the women. It's more of a selfish thing, but you see them, because I have this one guy that says I'm going to be riding the Cadillac with him. That's not true. But he's like, I'm getting myself together. Then it's me and you. No, bruh. No. We can't do this. I come with baggage. It's just the baggage not on the bus. We can't do this. But it was like he was being selfish towards himself, like he was trying to get I think it's some type of culinary skill he was going for or whatever. Not knocking him, because y'all know I like to eat. But it was like, I'm going to do this and this first, then I'm coming back for you. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, then you got goals. And I like that trait, but he can stay over there where he at, because I think it's more, you do need to get yourself in line in order to go ahead and be able to provide, be in the community, and do all the other stuff. I'm gonna go with prototype, so we can go ahead and get started disagreeing.
So let me just jump into it. I think it should be about yourself. First and foremost, right? I know we grow up, a lot of us, we don't have time to even think about ourselves, because we grow up thinking like, oh, we got to take care of mama. You know what I'm saying? I got to get my mama out the hood. You know what I mean? Our money, our ideas are going backwards initially for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? What we could do for grandmama, what we could do for mama, you know what I'm saying? Because they wasn't able to get out or whatever it may be. But I think that's the wrong way to go about it for a lot of people. It should definitely be about you first. And whatever you then create, you're responsible for. You know what I'm saying? But I think a man's priority should be about being his best self. Um, and then anything after that, if you have a woman, you know what I mean, then you have a woman. You got to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? If you create children, legacy or whatever, you got to take care of that. But it should definitely be about you first. And if you do have all that other stuff, then it still needs to be about you, so you could take care of them. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no point of always putting somebody else ahead of you, unless that's what's going to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? It's putting everybody ahead of you and taking the back seat, taking a small piece of chicken. You know what I'm saying? If that's your thing, hey, that's on you. But if you can't take care of yourself, man, ain't no way you can take care of anybody else. So get your priorities straight and taking care of yourself first.
It's on you, Lost in Translation.
Thank you, sir. Ash and Prototype stole my thunder a little bit, because I was gonna say selfishness. You know what I mean? Your priority should be you. You know what I mean? And by you, I mean by everything that's connected to you. You know what I mean? And the only way you can do that is to make sure, one, you're one with God, and two, to make sure that you learn as much as you can. Because what happens is life is full of distractions. You see what I'm saying? And what happens is you don't always get a chance to expound or learn on certain things, because every day is probably going to be a fire. And I'm speaking from experience. So you might not always want to You might always want to reach out to other folks and make sure that they're okay. But at the same time, what we're doing as men is we're teaching everybody around us to stand on their own 2 feet, because it's easier when everybody else is, pushing the wagon instead of just you pulling it by yourself. You know what I mean? As a man, you should be able to foster some type of leadership and teach other people to lead as well. It shouldn't always be on you. There's an African proverb that says many hands make light work. And I believe that if everybody has their own, mission or portion that they can help and provide in moving, the family forward, then they should do that. Everybody should specialize in something. So that's the reason why I was going to say, yes, a man should prioritize himself and then everything else that he's responsible for after that.
That's what's up. Anybody wanted to add to this? Okay. All right. We have, what is this? Accountability partner. Let's see. Accountability partner. $5 says, Ash, he was telling you his plan, giving you to Steve Harvey. I'm going to finish the line, then I'm coming for you. Isn't that what women are asking?
Okay. See, see, there's a little backstory to this character. Okay, let me just do this briefly. You tried to sell me a purse. No, I'm sorry, that's not how you put it. You were gonna bless me with a Louis Vuitton purse early in the morning. I'm talking about it's early, no daylight. Baby, I need you to go have a seat so I can get through these school zone and pick up these kids. And you steady coming back, showing me purses, No, baby, we ain't about that right now. See, the proper thing is you gonna give it to me. Hey, this for you right here. And then go about your business. Then we can talk about this later. Ride to the end of the line. We can talk about this later. But when I'm behind that wheel, I'm standing on business. I got to get everybody where they going without touching stuff. I don't like doing paperwork in the day, middle of the day, none of that. It's not so much him having this plan, it's how it was conveyed. Because every time I see him, he got an excuse to why he can't pay his fare. So if you coming to me with an excuse every time you can't pay your fare, but you got a long-term goal, baby, we're going to have to talk about you actually being responsible, because that means you're not taking care of the small responsibility, which is getting that change. Yeah, you can hustle these purses because I told you to keep the purse, go ahead, get your hustle on, make sure you got your fare, because you was already complaining about getting to work. It was a whole, like I said, it'd be a whole thing going on in that driver's seat. It'd just be.
So you saying that he don't even have the first plan together?
It's not even that. You getting to work, but you're not securing getting from work. You're bumming the ride. Or it's, hey, I got this 5. I wasn't able to get no change, but you at the airport. There's places in there.
You got a plan though.
One day he gonna come and jiggle them pockets at you. Hey,
listen.
I got a little bit of change.
I got a little bit of change. Hey, prototype said persistence gonna chip away at you.
No, because
he on the bus every day.
No, he's not on there every day. He's not on my schedule every day. He gets on every so often, but every time I see him, it's an excuse, no matter what.
Listen, my dude consistent.
Yeah, you consistent. That's why I consistently try to be on time.
That's what's up.
I'm not playing out today. I'm not.
That's what's up. All right, cool. So basically the priorities of a man is God first and then himself first is what people are saying, right? So right. To kind of piggyback off of that, when is that? Like when is it? Well, prototype I think said it's always going to be about him. He's always going to put himself first, right? But is that the case though? Because at some point you're going to have to put others first. At some point, when you say.
For me, not really, because you have to think of yourself. Because as prototype like to say, if you're the head of the company, you got to have the idea. But if you're not conveying your idea strongly, how is it going to trickle down to other people? I would say you have to take care of yourself mentally and physically, and your emotions and your spirituality and all that stuff. Because when you're not doing that, and I'm not a man, but I have strayed because I'm putting everything else before me and not giving myself the energy that I need to make sure I follow my plan or my goals. I get sidetracked, easily distracted. And I think that's Also the same with a man. If he's concerned about mama, oh, mama don't have this, mama don't have that. But if mama didn't take the steps to get that, why is it your job to put her there? She didn't want to be there because obviously she would have did a little bit more sacrificing. Everybody can sacrifice for the club and go to church, but can't nobody sacrifice for them to move forward out the space they in. And that's it.
I'm glad you've been paying attention, Ash.
I agree with you sometimes, just sometimes.
That's crazy. That's crazy that y'all agreeing right now. Okay, so then if that's the case, okay, so let's transition into what we. Okay, so I want to ask this question. Where was it? Then if it's only about the dude and it's himself first, when would be a good time or a good age to start having children? Because it's gonna be about him, but then at some point he's gonna start having kids possibly. But what is a good age to start having children? We'll start with you, Mo Better.
So this is a very interesting topic for me because I did it very early. Contrary to everybody, I was married, but still, ideally, for me, and it's not necessarily a number. I think it should be whenever you're comfortable and you're not robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you don't necessarily know where you're going to stay and where you have a solid foundation. That's when I think you're in a point to actually have kids and then, build into that or whatever. But generally, and if we had to put a number on it, I probably would say not before like 27. Even though I did it at like 23, those 4 years made a big difference, but it helped me mature and it pushed me to where I needed to be. But I would say probably in today's day and age between 25, 27, somewhere around there.
That's interesting. Which one you going with? You said that it helped push you.
Right. So for me, like I said, man, I ended up getting there by 24, 25 because of that. But I probably wouldn't have got there otherwise until about 27, 28. So, because of the necessity, it created the need for me to make something happen. But I probably wouldn't have got there if I was able to just do what I wanted to do.
Okay.
It didn't have those responsibilities.
I respect that. That's going to transition very well when we talk about who you got going next.
I actually want to hear Dwayne Jones.
Oh man, appreciate that. Whenever you feel that you're mature and can be able to handle kids, and at that, putting it like that, I don't think for some people, I'll say for me, I didn't feel that I was ready. But then once the children came, I had to get ready, right? So in it, it's like building that foundation, and the foundation for me started with marriage. So once I got married, then the runway was clear, and come what may. So in that regard, yeah, whenever you were comfortable, I set my foundation at marriage.
And how old were you when you got married?
I was 25.
And you had your first kid at what age?
First kid, 27, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Who you got going next?
Let's go with Ash. Yeah.
Okay. I agree with Mo Better and Dwayne. You do need to be ready because I think with a lot of times at 23, 22, everybody wants to prove that they can be a parent. Everybody wants to prove that they can outdo. Shut your face down over their prototype. The character, we're going to let me readjust that. The characters that I have experienced in my lifetime are ready to prove that's part of their manhood, which is to prove that they want to be a dad. Shut up, mind your business, fix your eyes over there. You looking Chinese. But anyway, I just feel like, to me, I just say when the man is stable, like when you're ready to make that hard sacrifice, because the woman body gonna change. You got to be ready for that. The mood swings gonna hit, and then you got the kid that's gonna come in and really throw things off the wall. Because people don't understand, it's a lot of work in that first year of getting that child from that 2 days old to that 1 year old. Baby may get sick because got to go to daycare, or it's a mountain of things, and that comes with maturity. because what was it? With the first one, it was the winging of the pacifier. Her daddy couldn't take it. He had to go outside and smoke a cigarette because that hollering was just too much. You know, some people don't understand. It's a lot going into that. And to me, I think guys need to really understand when you get in there, you got to get in there. Ain't no backing out. And I don't know a perfect age range. I guess I would have to agree with that 25, 27 range if you're ready, because a lot of people still ain't ready then, because I sure ain't. And I'm past that now. And I would say, yeah, because you got to have them finances, and a lot of people ain't financially stable within that 23, 24, 25, because you're still trying to find yourself and balance who you are. And since he got so much to say with his face over there, prototype, you know.
I would say never. Like, you got to understand why you really having kids, man. And from my perspective, it's overrated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, it's overrated to have kids, man. It's way too much work. You got to worry about way too much. Keeping them alive, that whole first year of keeping them alive, yo, is scary. Every day of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants all that stress? It's overrated. Like, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But if you had to put a time frame on it, make sure you're married first. You know what I'm saying? Don't be out here just, making I don't want to say it, but bastard kids or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Stop making baby mamas, that kind of deal. So get married, have your kids, and but even still, I think kids should be a mistake. Like, it should be a result of you having fun, you know what I'm saying, with your wife or whoever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was on the balcony getting wild up, you ended up pregnant. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't plan for kids at all. Don't handle kids if you can help it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna have kids, make sure you married first. And there is no good time. It sucks. There is no good time. It's overrated. All the joy you think you're gonna get out of it, yeah. Good luck. We'll go with loss.
You know what? As probably the oldest dude on here with no kids, I have a tendency to agree with you, but given my experience, I'm gonna have to disagree. And it's not for the reasons why you think, but I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why you should probably have them as early as possible is because you have a larger village to help you with. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have your kids around 25, they can still meet their grandparents. If they're lucky, great grandparents. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So if you have strong family ties on both sides of the family, I think everybody thinks, they're going to be ready. You'll never be ready for kids, bro. Let's just be honest. You'll never be ready. So my thing is this, if you got somebody who has a great foundation, go ahead and get married first. And then from there, build up. But I would say about 25 is a good range, because especially if you go ahead and get married, there's less trauma that people have experienced. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any bad pent up frustrations about what they think dating is and what they think marriage is. They haven't been jaded yet. So if you can avoid that without putting that into your family tree, I think that would probably be the best and ideal situation. Just speaking from experience, because I had the opportunity to meet my great grandparents. You know what I'm saying? I'm 50, so I've had an opportunity to meet grandparents on both sides, and to talk to them and to glean wisdom from them as a small child is invaluable. And you think kids don't listen to you? Yes, they do. So my thing is this: is as early as you can have, the better, because you still have as much help as you can. And I'm gonna go with Rick.
Shit. It ain't never a good time. I agree with the fellas, man. Like, at what age? Hey, when when you can keep from killing them, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's like I hate when people say that. Oh, when you ready? You ain't never ready for kids. You're never gonna be ready. It's OJT. If there's anything that require on the job training, it's raising kids. There is no. What's the best age? The best age to have them is when you're at least married, right? I agree with that, but it's the right, when you have them, it's the right and wrong time. It's the right and wrong time. They blessings, we love them. You know what I'm saying? But it's the right and wrong time when you have them. And every single one of y'all that got kids know what I'm talking about. That's all I got.
That's what's up.
And let me just add on to that. He right about that, because when you think it's the right time, because because I got two, and you're not raising the same person. You got to get a new person, and this new person got to get with the program. Because my motto was, I don't roll with kids, the kids roll with me. And that's the hardest thing, is to get these kids on my program so we can move forward. And I think the conversation that we don't have is, everybody love the baby, because the baby is really, you ain't got to do too much work with it. Feed it, go to sleep. It's when they start walking, talking, and then they start talking back and start touching stuff they ain't got no business. Then that's when you actually have to do that work. And a lot of us check out around there because it's overwhelming. Didn't nobody tell us about this negative part of this toddler, this terrible 2 and this 3-year-old that's coming into 45. They don't talk about that part. That baby's cute. Yeah, we love them. They quiet. They over there crying for 2 minutes, go back to sleep. You still get to move around. But it's that toddler. And then when they start going to school and learning all those behaviors from those kids and bringing it home. So it's like, that's the part that we miss and we don't talk to each other about, because that's a conversation need to be had. That's traumatic. Very traumatic.
What you about to say, Dwayne?
I'm just not. I'm just nodding.
What are you nodding about, though? That means you're agreeing with something.
Yeah, because there's what I was just thinking. Like, as for
bro,
this
which
one,
thought you want to have? Like, just
hang tight, man. At
ease.
ease. My goodness. No, I was just thinking, like, and the next good question: what's the right time to start handling up on their little tails, right? I was thinking, like, whenever they start saying no, once they start being able to use no strategically or use no appropriately, that's whenever that's because, to Ash, what you were saying, they're individuals, right? And whenever they start saying no and getting that personality, yeah, that little one's cute whenever they good, but how about when they start not getting with your program and start saying no? That's what I was just thinking about. I was like, oh yeah. That's where that keep from killing them comes in.
Yeah, like what Ash was saying, they do have different personalities. Anybody that has more than one definitely understand that, right? I have 4, and I remember our oldest, Gianna, she was cool in the fan. I was like, oh yeah. Second one on the way, oh yeah. If they anything like her, it's gonna be what's up, right? Oh man, Joshua came into the building. I'm like, man, I don't even like this dude. It's like for 3-4 years, I ain't like it, man. And I ain't know it until Jim was like, I don't think you like him. And I thought about it, I self-evaluated. I said, you know what? You're right. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't understand why you can't be chill. Why do I gotta do so much parenting with you as opposed to Gianna? She just chilling and she just going with the pace, right? And now my younger 2, they problems right now. You know what I'm saying? I have to execute some type of consequence daily for these young people. You know what I'm saying? So but as we transition, I think that I'm agreeing. Like, you want to be married before you have kids. Otherwise, that's where I think the challenge is, right? Because if you're married, then it's 2 raising this 1, and if it's twins, you still 2 on 2 in that regard. But I think that maybe what MJ was I don't know what he was trying to say specifically, but what he said was that children are they get in your way of being successful or being productive, is what he said in the clip, if you have them too soon. But that's why I asked, what would that be an age? Because he didn't give an age. He just said too soon, right? And so if I can ever talk to him, that'd be dope. Hey, reach out to him, Prototype. We can see if we can make that happen. So as I'm gonna ask this question then. How do children increase your progress? I'll ask it like that. And we just gonna talk about it. Whoever want to go can go. How do children increase your progress?
They'll let you know where you at. Oh, you want to go,
Oh
Joanne?
no, Ashley,
No, you
please.
go. You go.
Oh no, ma'am. Ladies first.
Oh, no. So the lady first. Oh, okay, whatever. Anyway, uh, I would say children let you know where you are. You know what I'm saying? If you need to step up the game. Because with me, I was in the call center world when I had my first one. So that was okay. But when it came from 2, it was like, okay, I'm really not feeling this. This is taking too much out of me. I need something else. I want another, I guess, certification, because that was my ultimate goal, was to move to another certification, do something else, do something all the way different. And I went to driving buses. And it's okay. It's been challenging, but kids let you know where you are, and then they're gonna let you know how your schedule affect them. With me, with going to school and dibble dabbing here and there, it lets me know that hey, sometimes my plan ain't gonna work. Some things I'm gonna have to put on the back burner because right now I'm focused on being the best mom I can. Being that it's just me raising them wholeheartedly. Because right now I don't want to miss out on anything. Because I speak from the single parents that are actual parenting, not the ones that take the pictures and post and make it look like they're parenting. But as a parent, I feel like if I was married or me and the father would have worked, I wouldn't have missed out on so much. Like people at daycare got their first steps recorded in their mind. They got their first word because of course with me working, that's where they go. That's where they're developing at. That's who's working with them one-on-one. You know, they have, I would say, a more of a bond with them because they're with them 8 to 9 hours out the day. I get the back burner. So sometimes as a parent, you do feel left out because your child is developing and you're not seeing. Because sometimes it can really hurt you. You know, that progress to let you know, hey, I'm doing this for financial, but I'm not progressing with the relationship with my child. That's the way I look at that. So whoever, Dwayne can go now.
Appreciate that, Ash. Man, well, they, I mean, from a young age, they let you know what you're doing wrong. They tell you how you're supposed to hold them. They tell you, or handle them. I'll put it like that for the adults. Don't watch how you handle me. They tell you that early on. They tell you what they want, how they want it, right? So in it, if you want to be successful, like you have to adapt to them. So in it, it's like it ain't about what you want. It's about how can you satisfy them at that moment in time because they're fully dependent on you. So for me, I was certified selfish, right? So then God has this nice little way of giving you something that's dependent on you so that you could then get rid of that selfishness and then focus on them. So, hey, you know what? But I'll put it like this. I kind of got off easy because my children, they breastfed. So I didn't really get too much of the brunt of it. I mean, I will, like from a young age, from the newborn phase, I didn't get really too much of the brunt of it. But in that, you had to adapt. Even now, certain things that will work for one will not work for the other, right? But if you want to be successful, you have to be able to adapt and then figure it out. You got to figure them out. You got to study them to figure out how can I be successful with this one? What was easy with this one is difficult with this one. What do I need to do differently? Because most of the times it's not them that has to do something differently. It's you. So as for progressing you is making you better if you desire to be better. And that's why we on this panel, right?
Whoever want to go can go.
I'll go. This is a stupid question. They don't help you increase your progress at all. And maybe it's my anecdotal experience, you know what I'm saying? But I was in college when I had my first daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like I was taking my daughter to daycare, then going to college class, and then going to football practice, and then picking my daughter up. Like, you know what I'm saying, from daycare after football practice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to skip games. There was times where I had to take my kid to practice, and she's running up to me in the middle of plays, and the coach is like, dude, just handle your kid, take your daughter to the bathroom. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's about to call a play. And my daughter's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I gotta stop and let somebody else get my reps. Like it held me back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even in my career, like it was a bunch of like, I would like, if y'all don't know, Mo's my brother, right? So I would drop my kids off at his house so I can just go study or try to like do like hackathons or stuff like that to progress my career. They didn't help me at all. Like I already had a plan, I had a trajectory, and the kids didn't do nothing but like take time away from it. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't increase my progress at all. They stifled it. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't put anything to being a better person just because I had kids. Now, I knew was going to be a good dad. You know what I'm saying? That's just one of those things that I always planned on being because I didn't have a good dad. But at the same time, because I was a good dad, I was way more involved in y'all than the normal person probably should have been. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how that sounds, but I don't care.
So you're saying that you're a good dad, but you don't like kids, and they don't need to be here.
No, I ain't saying I don't like them. I ain't saying I don't like kids. I'm just saying I'm saying it's too much work. And whatever
It's too much work.
It's too much work.
Bro, you work hard to get to where you are now.
Listen, raising kids is too much work. And then on the other side, they might not even like you for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all might not even get along. You know what I'm saying? It's too much work, and the benefit doesn't come out to be the same. Like, what is it? Whatever doesn't reap the reward, or however y'all want to say that. You know what I'm saying? So personally, for me, having kids is too much work. If you're going to be good at it, it's way too much.
So you're saying it's a bad investment?
Absolutely.
Mo Better, you want to respond?
Thank you. I was biting my tongue off over here. Look, as somebody who had front row seats to this movie,
get him.
I totally disagree. If anything, man, it was mandated discipline. And that was something that I kind of mentioned before, man. We definitely had the ability and we definitely had the willingness. But if anything, for me, being that I did it so early, it mandated to have the discipline because I had responsibilities and I couldn't just do my own thing and, I'll get to it later because I had somebody else. I had a wife and a daughter that was actually depending on me. So no, I don't agree. Now, obviously I'm a businessman. So as far as the ROI on it, I agree with that, but it's a luxury that I paid the cost to be the boss of. So I'm able to do that because I have enough to go ahead and make that investment. But I agree that there's not a lot of return on that investment. So I agree with that. However, I had enough FU money to be able to make that expenditure. So I'm okay with it.
Right. See, but again, the question is, how do they increase your progress? Not how you feel about it.
But that's exactly the thing. So it increased it by me. It made me do it earlier, and it forced me to stay in my greatness. That's how it increased it for me.
So you saying you wouldn't have been great if you didn't have your kids?
It would have delayed it.
He's lying though. He just don't.
It would have delayed it.
I'm just saying. Look, again, I'm trying to separate my emotions from the question, right? So, kids extrapolate resources, right? At least
I went and got more. So
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Right? I hear what you're saying. But even with that, right? So you had the reason why you had to get more because you had to refill those resources that you were giving to your children, right?
Correct.
Right. So it's stunted your progress, right? So instead of having the one, you could have had the double, correct?
No, not necessarily, because if you believe in compound interest, I went and got it more of it earlier. So it compounded earlier. So therefore, the deductible and everything came back earlier. So I'm good. So at 40, I'm totally good. I don't know if I would have been there if I didn't have a kid until I was 35. It might have been 50.
But again, you dancing around what I said, right? Let's just keep it a buck, right? So you saying that the reason why you had to get more is because you had to invest into your children, right?
Okay.
Right.
100%, yes.
So again, if you didn't have to put that into your children, that means you would have been able to relax earlier in life, more than likely, right? Because
what I'm saying is no. I'm telling you, no.
He said, what was it? Mandatory what? What did you call it?
Mandatory. It was mandated discipline.
There we go.
Because I would have had more free time to kind of do everything else that I wanted to do versus laser focusing in on what I had to do.
I got you. And what you say makes sense again, but that's not progress. That's not progress. Again, you're working twice as hard for the same thing.
So I disagree. So because of that, I built my first home at 23 because I needed to. I probably, if I didn't have those needs, and I wouldn't have a paid off house at 41. But because of that, I would have just been going, you know,
Right. But,
so ITP to ITP, just doing what I'm doing.
I hear what you're saying, bro. And that, and I'm not knocking the fact that you were able to do it. I salute you, right, for being able to do it. But what I'm saying is that you would have made different moves if you had that time and space available. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. Good and bad. So it's a net effect of it.
But
so
you don't know. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that now.
100%.
Me having the front row seat to this movie, he would have got the resources regardless. For some reason, he doesn't think that he would have got he would have got there regardless. And if he wouldn't have got married or had a kid so young, you know what I'm saying, you would have been able to make twice the moves, been triple ready, and you would have had your house paid off by 37, or you would have paid it off cash.
Maybe not, right? Because
well, that's just me knowing him. That's me knowing him and how he moves. When he's twiddling his thumbs, he does everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about him. He's saying, "Oh, it made me do it sooner." No, you would have been doing it anyway.
Maybe I'm saying it like this: if you look at other cultures, like they don't be like, oh, "Okay, let me wait till I get all my cake up." Like they work, they find somebody that they can build with and have kids with, because the information that is out there says that married men make more than single men. That's the information that's out there. Okay, so if I get married sooner and have kids, then I have somebody to, and if I do it right, I have a wife that's able to take care of the bulk of the kids, or I'm having the resources, if we both working, to have somebody still have my kids and still pour into my kids. Now, if you're saying that kids are not a good investment, then that means you're going against the Bible. And if you're saying you believe in the Bible, then I would suggest that you go look at the verse about Psalms 127:5. Says, "Blessed is the man whose quiver is full." You know what I'm saying? That's what it say, right? So kids are a blessing, not just because of who they are in your life, but who it is that you will become, right? It should be a depiction of, if you serve God, it's how He is as a father, how you should be to your kids, right? So go ahead.
Didn't Paul speak against having kids and having a family though? For the purpose of, yes, he did. For the purpose of you being able to do more of the Lord's work. He said, if you could help, if you could help it, don't have kids, don't have family, because then that relieves you to do more work.
He said, if you didn't have the gift of singleness.
Yes, that's what he said.
Whatever.
So what that means,
he said without the burden, you don't have to carry that baggage. Now, if you can't help but to go and do your thing, get married, right? I think that's what he said, and I'm paraphrasing.
He said, if you can't help but to go, you know what I mean, get you some. Yeah,
then
if you can't stop your lust,
get married.
Then it's better to get married.
But if you can help it, don't have kids, because it impedes your progress.
That's fair. That's fair that it impedes your progress. However, the current information says that married men do better.
They live longer. I agree, right? I agree. But again, we're not talking. What we should be saying is that they help you emotionally progress. That's what I'm taking from this, right? They help you grow up quicker, but they take resources, right? So again, it's a lose-win situation. It's a lose-win. You win, right? Because I love my kids. I don't want to get rid of my kids. You know, they're my responsibility, right? We talk about this all the time. We take care of our families. We sacrifice for our families, right? So, but for us to sit up there and say that they don't impede your progress is a lie. They do. They take away time and resources that you could be putting towards building your kingdom bigger. And I don't mean I'm talking about as far as setting the nest egg for the home and getting things ready for the next generation, right? They impede that. So yes, they have their place. They have their what I want to say, their inspirations, right? They make you want to go harder and grind harder, but not just because they're your kids, but because they eat a lot of shit too. You know what I'm saying? So it's a double-edged sword, and that's why I said the right time is the wrong time. The wrong time is the right time, right? Because no matter what, it's going to be a battle with them kids. It's a battle of life, because Your life is now on hold. Your life is no longer yours because you have children. How can you say you progressing when your life is no longer yours?
We'll come back to it. Maybe. Lit, what you got?
I got you, humble dad. Listen, I think what happens is we get into a situation where we connect progress to money, and it's hard to undo something like that in the minds of people when we've been programmed to think that money equals progress. Speaking from experience, I'll give you an example how you investing in your kids help not only you, but they help those in the community. My grandfather on my mother's side was a trustee at his church. Okay. And from that, he had 12 kids, and those kids had kids. And I can stand back and I can look at all the different hands and tentacles of places where our family influences other people. I mean, we got people from doctors to nurses to people who's over symphony orchestras in Australia. So my thing is this, those people go out and inspire the world. To me, that is progress from you because you took a little bit of time with that person that you were with over time. You see what I'm saying? It's not where you get it at the beginning. When my grandfather passed away in 93, I was there, man. And let me tell you something, that was cool to sit around to watch everybody around his bed as he leaves this earth. And everybody told him, thank you. Man, that's the most coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And my thing is this, it may not have a monetary value, but your inspiration of others goes out into the world that is incalculable. And in the grand scheme of everything, in the grand calculus of everything, that's what it's all about anyway. So as far as you being progressed, yes, you are. Eventually you are, because you're learning mercy. You're learning grace. You're learning patience. And those are the things that you teach your children and those that are around you that you're responsible for and not responsible for. Because as men, we don't have to give people mercy if we don't want to. You see what I'm saying? By the sheer nature of who we are, we don't have to. But it is more blessed to give mercy than it is to receive. So that's the reason why when you get older and you teach your children things like this, they watch you over time. And that development over those times is what makes you a better person, because you're not going to react to the same thing over and over again with new information that you've learned from your children. You see what I'm saying? Because not only do our kids learn from us, we learn from our kids too. You know what I mean? In that quiet place when we're alone with them. Let me tell you something, nothing is more humbling than your kid trying to teach you 5th grade math again. And there's nothing like it used to be when you took 5th grade math. It's totally different now. If you had never did homework with your kids before, you don't understand. You know what I mean? It's like, you're supposed to be the dad. You're supposed to know. No, they didn't have this when I came up. You know what I mean? That type of thing. But hey, we can work on this together. Show me your book. Let's do this together. And it's in that quiet place where you guys get to learn together that you build trust over time. So that's just one example on how we progress. But that's just an example. Just like I said, if you're a hands-on person with your kids, you understand. And that's all I got to say.
Have you ever done homework with a kid before?
Yeah.
What did you say it was?
Any type of math, man. Any type of new math.
No,
these kids have.
What was the experience you said it was?
What do you mean?
Doing homework with your kid.
Humbling.
Humble?
Yes.
Frustrating, not humbling.
Yes. Because
frustrating.
The math you had was different.
No, I ain't talking
than what
about
they had.
just the math. It's not the problem with the math. It's the problem. 2 + 2 is 2. The answer is 4.
No. They want them to get it.
And then they be like, so what's the answer? It's 16.
That's what I'm talking about.
2 + 2 is 4. The answer is 4, kid.
No.
What's the answer?
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's
32.
The way you get to 4. That's how they test you, how you get to 4. They don't care how
you're not listening. You're not listening.
Oh, I'm listening.
Homework
me,
with your kid is
Dwayne,
frustrating.
I'm with you. I know what you're talking about.
It's frustrating. Like they're sitting there. I don't know the answer. I don't know. Yo, we just went over this. We've been here all night. I don't know. Maybe I just got too many kids for this. But like,
no.
I know what HUMBLEDAD. Hey, I know what he prototype talking about. Yeah. I feel you on that one. Yeah. Sometimes they get like that. Like I do.
Yeah. I do want to jump in here real quick because Mo, you said something earlier, And I think you made the distinction between the difference between finance or progress, tying to finances versus the knowledge in which we pass down. You said the inheritance piece, right? You distinguish the inheritance from being financial to being the knowledge. So for me, as for the progress, whenever I look at that, we can progress based upon the knowledge in which we learn through the experience of having them. Not only that, we do then desire to then leave an inheritance for them. So in it, I do believe there's a balance, and they do give us that drive to do better, to be better. And it's not just for ourselves, it's also for them, because we're wanting to leave. Again, we said this earlier, leaving the situation better than we found it. And that's the primal and first way of being able to do it. So I appreciate you bringing it from that perspective, because yes, we do have the opportunity to leave inheritance, to leave our marks, but then in turn, right, as for the bad investment, sometimes they don't deserve what we have worked hard for. So I'll put it like that too. So yes, we do work up and bust our tail, right? But then sometimes they don't deserve it. But then once they do, and if they do, that's whenever we are going to be happy to then leave that legacy, leave that for them. And just like what you said, Loss, being able to be on that bed, us being on that bed, and people around us, not what they can get from us, but thanking us for what they got from us while we were still here.
Yeah, I think that was a dope take, Lost in Translation. That how did you say progress is not always seen as, it should not always be seen as financial, right? Because
Right.
we should be growing in all different aspects, right? Mentally, spiritually, physically, for sure. You know, finances is in there. I can, for me, I know when I was by myself, I wasn't really making financial progress. I didn't start thinking about being a better person, a better man until like maybe 25, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Before that, I was just, Ash, she seen me as a as a young dude. You know what I'm saying? I was really selfish, and I was in the mind frame of stacking my bread, but I didn't have no vision with that. You know what I'm saying? I can get money, but I was spending it just as much as I got it. But when I start focusing on being married and then getting married and having kids, my mindset changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ended up getting out of debt. You know what I'm saying? I bought a house. Had a wife that stay at home, take care of the kids. Right? I had all of those things, and so if for me, maybe it's an individual. Maybe that's what it is. It's individual perspective that your kids can be your driving force, right? And then maybe the part about if they're not in your house or if you're doing it by yourself, that may be a different perspective as well, right? Because I know for me, it was a driving force for me. I'm with you, Prototype. Like, I didn't have a dad to know what it looked like, so I was like, I may have been doing it wrong at times, right? But my goal was to make sure that they had a dad that I didn't have. So, you know what I'm saying? So I get both perspectives for sure. Anybody have anything to add?
Just to piggyback on that, HD, is like sometimes we just take what we saw or what we didn't see and try to monopolize on that, because maybe you didn't have the best relationship or the absentee made you who you are. At the same time, that's what I always feel like, okay, well, my mom didn't do this much or she didn't do this. Okay, let me try this and see how that works out with my kids. Because single parent life, you do have to work. You do have to put the kid at somebody else's house to make sure that they're okay. That form of protection. That's why I always try to make sure kids are at a safe place. So when I'm at work, I can focus. I think a lot of times that we get lost in that. We're trying to become a better person, but at the same time, we're breaking the bond with the kid. We're pulling back into self and not understanding that. I got a little lost there, but I'll be all right. I'll be back.
No worries, you good. I think it's Into It is he had a statement, or they had a statement back. It was said, are you a better person as a father, or do you think if you hadn't been a father, you would be even better? I guess a better person? Are you a better person as a father, or do you think if you hadn't been a father, you would be even better? That's a question for the fathers. Which I got on that.
I don't know, because fatherhood is such a big part of who I am. Being a good father is means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, would I be a better person? I don't, probably not, because there's really no way to even tell I'm a good person until you see me as a father. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. Rick, what you got?
Would I be a better person? Yeah.
Can you expound upon that?
Because I'd have more time to focus on myself. You being a better person requires self-improvement. Self-improvement. Right? That's just the way the world goes. Like I tell you all the time, we all gotta eat. Right? And because they my children, I gotta feed them. So when it's times I need to be sitting down fixing me, I don't have time to do that. My most of my growth came after my kids got grown.
That might speak to the improvement then, Rick.
Yeah, but I could have done it sooner if I didn't have kids.
Maybe.
Ain't no maybe.
This
Right?
that
The
same
same,
one.
no, because the same way Mo Better just said in a definitive, right? It would have been. Now I get that too. Don't take it away from me.
Back to what we were talking about earlier, but reversed.
Reverse. Yeah.
Hit the Uno card on you.
What you got, Dwayne? Then we go to Mo.
For me, yes, and I am a better person after becoming a father, because. So we're talking about working on self. I think challenges, like you can have challenges by yourself, but whenever you have another person that you're having to live for, right? That's another different type of challenging, right? You can struggle by yourself, but whenever you're struggling with somebody else depending on you, right? That's a different type of struggle. So in it, you're going to have to sacrifice certain things that you would like to do in order to adopt the best thing that's going to produce an outcome for the unit rather than the individual. So for me, there are certain things, and this also then goes to I'll say, for example, suffering. People think suffering is a bad thing. Suffering produces character. Or tribulation produces character. So in that, whenever we could, even especially in a relationship, people say, well, I could do bad by myself, right? I could do bad by myself. But guess what? You could, or you can make the changes that can allow you to be better in the situation that you're in. So I look at it like that. Tribulation, troubles, which kids can be because they're difficult. They're a whole nother person, right? Whole nother personality, whole nother wants and needs. So you're not looking at out for just me or my, which guess what? Me or my is right majority of the time. But then they'll tell you how you're wrong. And just like in marriage, it's a reflection. Your wife is a reflection. So your children also can be a reflection as well. So I look at it like that. So I am better because of my children. I allow them to make me better. How about that?
On you, Mo Better.
Man, I think that was deep. And I second that. I definitely believe that becoming a father made me a better person. And the reason I say that is because there's levels to this. I have a sister that's about 6.5 years younger than me. And I remember that was my why as a youngster, to kind of not want to leading a bad example. And that was kind of my why. I want to make sure that I'm leading a good example. And that kind of kept me on the straight and narrow when there were plenty of distractions that could have pulled me either way if I was just doing for me. And then once I got to be, of age to actually be a father, it was, I don't know, tenfold, where I was like, this person, I'm not sharing the responsibility as a sibling. I'm solely responsible for this life. And it was a mandated discipline, and it gave me my why, and it gave me a laser focus on how to be disciplined and to get to what I need. And it gave me a lesson in understanding. It gave me a level of understanding that I don't know if I would have ever had otherwise. So it was a blessing, and I'm glad it happened.
For me, I think kids show you who you are. You know, that's why I think that you're able to become better during the process of being a parent, because I think somebody already said it. I mean, you're learning how to show grace, how to show mercy. You're learning self-control, because they're gonna make you lose your mind at some point, you know, and how you got to respond to them. It also teaches you how to interact with another generation of a person. It teaches you definitely how to budget your money. It should. You know what I'm saying? Because if they taking all your resources, as y'all said, then that means I got to spend a little differently, right? So I think that it allows you to become more of who you're supposed to be, because we're put on this earth, as the Bible says, to procreate, is what it says, right? Be fruitful and multiply. And there was a reason for that, right? And so I believe that if I look at it, I mean, back in the day, they was having multitude, can I say that? A multitude of kids, right? It wasn't until the most recent of times where it has slowed down, because people have made it seem like kids are not an asset, right? They've made it seem as if they are a liability. And to some degree they are. However, a part of that liability is they will soon become an asset. Why do I say that? Because as you pour into them, Lost in Translation said like this: they will go into the world and spread the message that you've you poured into them. Case in point, I think one of the dopest examples is Tony Evans. Okay, if you don't know who Tony Evans is, he's a pastor here in Dallas, Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. Has a large following, not just here but globally. Okay, his dad was a non-believer. His mom was a non-believer. What ended up happening was one particular night, some men came up to him, talked to him about the gospel. He received Christ. Then he ends up going into the house and started changing right in front of everybody. His wife didn't even like him no more because he had changed so much, and to the point of where he stayed in his frame. His kids got to see him live out the gospel in his house. And so therefore it carried over to Tony Evans, who it is that we know now. Right. So as it relates to progress, I would say that was major progress why he had kids in his house, and not only just his kids, but his wife as well. So I think it makes you more of who you are and who you're supposed to be, you know? And so that's that was the topic and discussion for this evening. Y'all have been phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Rocking and rolling. And then y'all gonna give us the take. What your takeaway, and what can we find you? Because you know y'all got the holidays coming up. Or you can tell us what you're doing for your holidays. All right. We'll start with you, Unc.
Absolutely nothing for once.
That feel good, don't it?
For once. My wife making a small dinner, ain't gonna be a bunch of people. My wife cooking, I watch dishes. So this is the year I've been waiting for. You know what I'm saying? Get out, stay out, go. Don't come here, right? But yeah, we just chilling, kicking back, enjoying each other's time, man. Like I said, y'all can find me here on YouTube, Ricky Williams, TWT, blah blah blah. Make sure y'all like the button for the what I'm about to say.
For the
Make
algorithm.
sure, for the algorithm. Make sure y'all share the video, like the video, subscribe, or dislike it, do whatever y'all want. But I appreciate you, HD man. Y'all take care. Enjoy your holiday. Be safe. That's all I got.
Absolutely. On you, Lost in Translation.
You know what? I'm gonna be working, man. Not only because I'm gonna be off on Monday because it's my birthday, but outside of that, man, everybody, y'all enjoy your family, man. That's what it's all about, you know. And sometimes we get so busy, we forget the reason why we do what we do. So you can find me here on Lost in Translation podcast, also on Black Men Unfiltered, Sir Hell Speaks as well. And I'll be here, man. Y'all make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share the live, man. And that's what it's all about. Share the knowledge and the love. Thank you, Humble Dad.
That's a bet. Prototype.
Man, I'm gonna piggyback off of sharing the love, man. Share the pod, man. You can find us Prototype Kingdom podcast Tuesday nights, Humble Dad on Monday nights, Wednesday nights. We outside. Man, my takeaway, I really don't have one because my perspective didn't change, man. Kids is overrated. You know what I'm saying? So just go at it like that.
That has got to be a topic because I remember you saying it before. Dude say kids are overrated, but he values being a dad.
I don't see how that conflicts. That don't conflict.
Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead, Mo.
Pray for me, y'all. But so listen, man. Man, I think this was a really dope panel, man. I thanks for the invite. For sure, man. I'm definitely part of the Prototype Kingdom podcast as well. But a takeaway for me is that, you know, the whole inheritance piece, man, I really took a lot away from that. It's about kind of what we're leaving in our kids' paws versus what we're leaving to them. So I really took that to heart. So whoever shared that, definitely thank you for that. And as far as what we're doing, man, I'm gonna be spending it with the in-laws, man, and you know, I guess spreading my knowledge and my tentacles off to them. So I don't necessarily have to have many more kids in order to, you know, let my gospel go out into the world.
That's what's up. I appreciate you coming in, man. Short notice and all. It's been a pleasure. Ash, on you.
Okay, you can find me here, of course. This is my Monday night home. What I'm doing, I'm working, baby. Christmas is around the corner. We got to get in now. We getting all this money. We not leaving nothing on the table beside the bones. Family time will be at a minimum because I will be asleep. My takeaway for the night is try to love the kids, even though we want to kill them. That's it. That's the basis of being a parent. When you say no, they gonna say yeah to something. And matter of fact, as soon as I get out there, I need to go get on somebody real quick. But yeah, just love your kids because they do take a lot. You know, sometimes it is what I say. Sometimes F them kids because you really be feeling that because they take it there. Dwayne.
Appreciate that, Ash. Yes, just like you, you can catch me here on Monday nights on HD with HD and the fantastic panel. You know, what I really like about this HD is I get to sit back and I get to learn. So I appreciate the ability to sit back and glean from the wisdom that is shared here. So I appreciate the platform. You can find me as well at DwayneJonesPhotography.com. And I'll say my takeaway tonight. Man, you can learn from the kids. Yeah, you could learn doing it by yourself, but ain't nothing like somebody else being a mirror to you. Doing the things that you think you like until you see them do it. And you're like, oh, where'd they get that from? Oh, I didn't like that. Ain't nothing change you like that.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a dope show as usual. Hey, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and share. Make sure you share this one because this was definitely a phenomenal show. What we're gonna be doing? We're going over to my kinfolk house for Thanksgiving. Gonna be a large gathering over there, and then coming home, gonna go to sleep for sure, and just sleep the rest of the weekend. Probably that's what I'm gonna do. I haven't had a break in a long time, so this would be much needed. My takeaway, I would say, is that it's interesting that you can be valuable as a dad, but not want your kids. And you know what I'm saying? I just thought that was the most interesting thing ever. Shout out to my dude Prototype. Until next time, we out here. Deuces.
The boy is dangerous.
Bad feeling about this.
You don't seem to understand something.
thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.